Should you move to Arizona?
Well, I actually have a list of 9 reasons why you probably shouldn't move to the Phoenix metro area.
Well, we love living here.
Yeah, we love living in the Phoenix metro area. We've lived here for the last 9 years.
Yeah.
But being a real estate agent for the last 8.5 years, I've compiled a list of the 9 reasons why people don't want to relocate and move to Arizona.
Like a list that scares them where they talk about all the time.
Yes.
Worries or concerns.
Yes, and I have the list, and we're going to tackle that today. But before we begin, I'm Sean.
I'm Betty.
We're a husband and wife real estate team here in the Phoenix metro area.
Listen, if you're thinking of moving to Phoenix metro area, please give us a call. Or our contact info is down below. You can email us, text us, or schedule a 15-minute Zoom call. We would love to make your transition to Phoenix a smooth one.
So over the last 8.5 years in real estate, we've helped tons of families relocate to Arizona. And we love it because we're one of those people, right? We've relocated here from New Jersey. It's been 9 years, right?
It has been 9 years. It feels like longer, but then shorter at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Yeah. And throughout that, we've heard so many reasons on why people don't want to end up relocating or moving here. And we have both compiled a list of reasons why people are kind of scared to move out here. We're going to tackle them, and not to say that they're wrong, because
I had some of these concerns too before we moved here when I was doing research.
And we were YouTubing, doing all this research.
I don't know, but
so we're going to do our best to help your transition of moving here a good one. So let's start with number 1. The elephant in the room. We cannot talk about Phoenix metro Arizona without talking the number 1, and the whole list is not in order, but this is the number 1.
Yeah, I would say it's the heat. Yeah, that's the biggest concern people have.
So talk about it a little bit.
The heat. Well, it is hot. It's not like,
Can't run away from it.
It's not a surprise. Well, you can run away from it, but it's not a surprise. It is hot. But if you think about it, the whole year, there are seasons that are really hot and there are seasons that are not so hot. That's how I look at it. It's not so hot, and then it's really hot, and it's really hot.
So what are the seasons? Like, talk about it. Not the seasons, but like, when is it really hot?
I think it's very hot in July through September. July, August, September.
My research showed June through September.
I mean, to me, I have different tolerance to heat than you do. So to me, it's like July, August, September. August being like kind of like the hottest for me.
We'll talk about why later.
Yes. So I think that's the hottest. And then after like beginning in October, it starts to kind of like get nicer all the way, I think, until like April, May. And then it starts to heat up. May, it's hotter.
But you like that?
Yes, I do like it, because then you're like at the pool, so you're getting ready for the summer, so it's kind of like, okay. And then, June is hot, but it's hot everywhere you go,
And the summer, it is.
It's the summertime, so.
So I'm going to give you my perspective, because I hate the heat.
Yes, yes.
Like, it'll be like, I'm not a fan of the heat.
When you first moved here, you were like, oh, I cannot.
Yes. And the first summer, because you always say this to everyone, you always say the first summer is always the worst.
Yes, your first summer when you move here is the worst.
Especially if you
just
come
like, what in the world?
Yeah, especially if you come if you move right before summer and get right into it, it's like, whoa, this is insane. But if you come in like April, then it's May, you start gradually June. Then
I feel like your body temperature just gets adjusted to it better. I would say, like, even if you're gonna move in like the winter months, so at least you kind of like enjoy the nice weather, and then like going into the heat, it's an easier transition. Your second summer, third summer will be a little bit. You'll be more acclimated.
It's been 9 summers for me, and I'm gonna say no.
You haven't. Yes.
But again,
a lot of people.
It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off for me. I don't like the heat, but I will take it because of so many benefits from living here, right? So like,
yes.
What do they say? 300 days of sunshine.
Yeah. So the sun is the main source of the heat.
Yes.
Because like when the sun is, that's why it's hot. Because even in the summertime, if you're in the sun, it's super hot. But if you're in the shade, you might be okay.
Not in the summer, but yes. So our friends, actually, our neighbors from Michigan, were over, and we were talking about the heat and stuff. And he was talking because they're from Michigan, and it gets cloudy and stuff. It's like one day it gets cloudy here. We're all like, what is going on outside?
Yeah.
Why is it cloudy?
Yeah.
Right. Instead of just being okay with being cloudy for 1 or 2 days. But when you live back east or up north, it's like you get cloudiness like 6 days in a row. But here happens once in a month, and everyone freaks out. Like, what's going on? This is crazy. So I'm bearable with the heat. I like it. There's ways around it. So like you said, you could escape the heat. So if you want to talk about that.
So you can escape the heat. You can go up north. You can drive up like an hour and a half. It's cooler than the Phoenix metro area.
Yeah, like 20 degrees. I think 15,
yes, it's like
degrees.
nicer. So you'll still be like 97, but there will be like some
no humidity,
and also there's more greenery up there too, which we'll talk about later. But it kind of helps with like the air, it being cooler. And of course, if you drive up like to Flagstaff or like even northern part, you're gonna be fine. Or if you can't escape, if you're outside, you got to be in a pool.
Yeah, got to get a
shaded area in the pool. You should be fine.
Yeah.
Don't get in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, you don't need the pools. So a couple of things that come to mind is you never want to leave stuff in your car in the summer.
Oh, yes.
Right?
So, like chapstick.
Or like
Chapstick will
lotions,
melt.
your lotions.
Lotions get like
done.
Ruined.
So you need a sun visor, you need a sunshade for your car.
Yes.
Even like when you go to open the car door, the door handle is super hot.
Or your
seatbelt,
your seatbelt, like the metal part, it gets hot.
So those are things you just have to watch out for. And again, we're not saying like, oh my God, it's you're gonna burn outside, but it's just like you got to be mindful. And it's only 3 months. The rest of the year, it's awesome. So it's a trade-off right now.
Stay indoors.
The other point we had, and we'll move on to number 2, was when you walk a dog out. So
yes, so that's something that you need to be cautious of. If you have a dog that you want to walk, people usually don't walk their dog until the sun is down. So either really early in the morning or when the sun at the sunset, because the ground gets super, super hot, and they have like warnings, everywhere. If you on the hiking trails and stuff, they say like, even for just like humans, like don't hike because it's like a heat.
You got to drink a lot of water out here. You got to stay hydrated and stuff like that, and just stay out of it as much as you can. Okay, that's number 1. The heat, the biggest. Again, if you guys have any questions,
I don't know if that scared them or like that made them feel better.
But it's been 9 years and I haven't left. So
yeah, people live here. I've heard it. People are like, oh, how do you guys live here? It's so hot. You just get used to it. I think
it's better than shoveling snow.
Yes, you can shovel sunshine.
Yes. Number 2, air quality and the dryness.
This is a big one for you because you hate the dryness of it.
Yeah,
I hated it for different reasons. I don't hate it. I don't like it for different reasons.
Let's talk about the air quality first, right? And we hear a lot about air quality advisories all the time. So like, my Tesla has like an air quality monitor on it, which I just realized that it's like every day it's like high. And then you can look outside and you can kind of tell. And I didn't know where that comes from, but you could tell when you look outside, it's like a little just not like sharp.
Yeah.
The picture, right?
Sometimes.
And it's from the ozone, right? So it's a couple of factors. Right? The floor is, the ground is super hot.
Yeah, the ground is super hot. They said, well, we looked it up. We were like, why is the air quality so bad? Because of the heat from the sun, it creates this kind of like, so you're getting heat from the top and from the ground itself because it heats up the ground.
There's no tree.
So sometimes you can see like the heat coming from the ground.
That's wild.
It is. It's kind of scary. You're like, what is happening? Is there like, is it gonna pop up or something? Yeah. But so that's that, and then also there's a lot of dust. So the mountains and like the landscape is very sandy or deserty. So there's a lot of dust. So if you're like like our stuff in our backyard gets so dusty, which is
covers on stuff.
Yes, it gets very, 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 very dusty.
Yeah.
So that also impacts like the dryness of it. And of course, the driest months are in the winter.
Yeah, and it's right now where it's just the end of December, close to Christmas time, and it's super dry. Like,
it's so dry. Like your skin is like so dry.
Yeah.
You have to keep putting lotion on, and it's not enough.
Our son woke up last night, came into our room crying, and he's 4. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, my nose is so dry, I can't breathe. And I'm like,
we had to we didn't put his humidifier up.
Yeah, so humidifiers are great. Get a lot of nasal sprays and a lot of lotions for your skin. That will help with that. But it is annoying.
It is.
But again, every state, every part of the country has their things, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, humidity, too much humidity is like you just feel like gross, I think, when you sit outside. So that's the con of that. But too much dryness is like very dry.
Yeah, we're on like the other spectrum.
Yes.
So now, number 3, lack of seasons. I hear this a lot. So we help a lot of families come from the Northeast and just from all parts of the country. And they're like, there's no 4 seasons. You know, we love spring and fall. And I'm like, yes, here you have hot and not
cold.
Yeah.
You have hot and cold.
Yeah. So you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I think like the transitions are not as like prominent for the seasons here. Like here you go from super hot to like cool and then cold. Like this year, it was like a perfect example. It was super hot. It was hot later.
It was like 100.
Yes.
Like October.
Even November, beginning of November.
It's not like super hot where it's like, oh my, it's like 100 here is pretty comfortable.
Yes.
For me too.
Yeah.
It's still hot.
But then it went to kind of cold, not during the day when the sun is up, but like in the morning when the sun is not up. It's like this morning was very cool.
Yeah, it's like in the 40s.
I mean, yes, it's December, but like that's I think what people kind of like. We don't know what to dress like. We could like, you know, we have a jacket in the morning and then we have to take it off because it's hot and then it gets cold again. So that's I think the transitions are not as like prominent.
Yes, like the 4 seasons.
Yes.
But the beauty here is you could drive up again. Yes, you got to drive up an hour and a half to Flagstaff or, you know, Pine or Payson, and you'll get the seasons there.
Yes. Yeah, you will. And then also like, you know, our winter is like December is cold and then January, February gets colder. And then like March just starts to get nice. Like March, April is like really nice, comfortable. Like I feel like I haven't experienced the level of like just being comfortable outside in any other state in those months. Like you're just very comfortable. You don't need a jacket. You're not hot. It's just very like beautiful out. Like, and that's what's worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah, because we came from New Jersey where we had the 4 seasons. Yeah, you miss it, but
then it gets cold in like October, like early October, and you start to freeze and not enjoy the outdoors as much.
So that's number 3. Let's go to number 4. So the number 4, and again, these are not in order, except for number 1 was the top. I hear a lot about the monsoon season is worrisome because what you see online.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it does get pretty bad, but the monsoon season. So let's talk about monsoon season. It's typically from July to September, but it's kind of a good thing. Well, it's not kind of, it actually is a good thing for our landscape because we're a desert and we need the rain. So it doesn't rain here a lot.
Yeah,
so the monsoon season in the summer, when we get rain, our landscape needs it. So that's good. The 4 types of like, not the 4 types, but how the monsoons are, it's like you have thunderstorms, rain, you have dust storms. They're called haboobs.
Yeah.
They're like, you'll see just like the whole city, just like dust coming towards it. Like, it's like a movie.
Sky.
It's like a movie. And you're like, I was in that? You're
like dark clouds coming your way.
But when you're in it, you don't really notice it that much. I mean,
well, if it's a bad one, you do. Yeah. So we haven't had a bad one in a really long time. And I think that's why you're not remembering. Because I think we had a really bad one, like, I want to say like 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. It was a funny story. So you're right. It was 4 or 5 years ago. I was out and it's like August. So it could come like that out of nowhere.
Yes. So your phone will ring. Oh, like a storm is coming and then it's there.
Yeah. So I was outside in our community grilling, doing some barbecue, like grilling some chicken. And then, the alarm came on. And I look, it's like sunny out. And then I look on the other side. I'm like, oh, there's like clouds. Because, you know, you could see like the clouds coming in. You're like, oh, okay, I have time to finish. I flipped the chicken. And then I look back and it's just coming closer closer, closer.
Scary.
And it's like, and I'm like, oh no. So I just grabbed everything and ran it, and it just comes in. And
it's a force.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's not dangerous well, it can be, but it's not as dangerous like a tornado.
Yeah, you definitely have to pull over, because if you're caught in it driving, you have to pull over because you won't be able to see. And then sometimes if it's a really bad one, trees fall. So you have to be very careful. But watching it from indoors is great.
Yeah, it's fun. Except for, a couple other things. It also can bring flash flooding, and then it rises the humidity. So out of nowhere, you just feel like
very humid.
80% humidity out of nowhere.
Yes.
And a couple of things, since we are realtors and we own properties too, those monsoon seasons is when the roofs are like really at its like the most vulnerable. So that's when we're like checking with, if we have deals under contract, hey, let's go to the house, make sure nothing happened to the roof during the monsoon, all that stuff to consider when you are here. But again, it's not, because we live in New Jersey, I've lived through many like hurricanes. That was scarier. This is more like, it can cause damage and people, you could really get hurt, but it's not as bad as hurricanes that I've lived through.
I mean, yes, and you don't it doesn't ruin your house in a sense. It's not like there's a tree that fell on it. Like if it rains a lot, in New Jersey, in your neighborhood, there was one pocket where it would just flood. Even if it was not too much rain, it would flood.
Well, that happens here too. The flat depends on the area, because there's not a lot of place for the water to go here.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it was worse there because we lived in.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
All right. Number 5, I hear this a lot, and I'm going to push back a little bit on this one. We hear no beach or ocean a lot. Oh, there's no beach or ocean. And that comes from a lot of the Californians, from the East Coasters. Oh, there's no beach or ocean. And I get it. There isn't. I'm not going to, there's no beach or ocean. Well, there is, but Betty will talk about that in a second. But what I always say, and it's a legitimate question. I'm like, okay, how often in the summers do you go to the beach? Because we lived in New Jersey. We went once or twice a summer, right? Because life gets in the way, and it's usually an hour and a half drive. So for us, it was like once or twice a year. And then people from California, it's really hard to go to the beach in California because the traffic, right? Just go to the beach, there's parking. It's kind of like an all-day thing. My brother lives in New Jersey. He lives on the shore. He goes to the beach pretty much like twice a week, because he could literally, it's a 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
So yes, for those people, it's a little bit of a shock. But if you're going once or twice a year, you could just drive to San Diego for 5 hours. In 5 hours, make a weekend trip out of it.
You'll fly.
Or fly. So what else? We don't have an ocean, but
we do have bodies of water, which we've talked about in our Mesa video. So we have lakes and multiple lakes in different areas, kind of very close by too. There's one 30 minutes away you can go to. So there's bodies of water that people go to and enjoy themselves and with their families and friends. So there's options. It's just not a beach with big waves. You can't. Well, we don't surf. However, they are opening up actually really close to us. How would you describe it? Surfing.
It's called Cannon Beach. We've talked about it in previous videos. Yes. It's a surf park, so you could go surfing there. There's a wave pool, and there's a kids pool area.
Yeah.
So for us, it's 5 minutes away, so it's great. Not even 5 minutes. Yeah. But there's options. If you're a big beach goer, go every weekend, every couple times a week, like my brother, it'll be a shock. But if you're just go once a summer, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So number 6, I hear this one obviously a lot too, lack of greenery. Because, we get clients who come, they have lush trees, they have so many trees, and then they come here, and we're in the desert, right? It's not a secret. Phoenix is a desert.
Yes. However, for it being desert, it has we do have trees and stuff. It's not it's just cactuses everywhere or cacti. But
one thing you hear a lot.
Yes, it's I hear a lot people say it's very brown. It's all one tone, the neutral tones, the houses are neutral tones, the landscaping is, the mountains are. Yes, of course, if you're coming from the East Coast or California where the mountains are luscious and, when you're driving on the highway, you don't even see because it's all trees. yes, it's going to be very different for you here, just in the Phoenix metro area. Of course, if you go up north, yes, there's abundance of trees.
Yeah,
and
Flagstaff is like a forest.
Nature, yes.
Like forest. So.
Yeah, there's pine trees and like beautiful. But here in the metro area, it's pretty built out, so you don't have a lot of that. But we do have like parks and stuff that there's like, you know, you can be in nature and like nice, beautiful trees and not, you know, have to go anywhere.
It's just, like everywhere you go, it's like the earth tone.
Yes.
The houses are kind of like that too. A lot of the HOA communities do them all pretty similar. And we like the, you know, the different styles. So we don't see that much here in real estate.
Yeah.
Some pockets do. So if you are looking, if that's like a big thing for you and you're like, hey, we want that like different style home that's different in Arizona, like reach out to us. We'll definitely be able to help. There is some definitely communities that we know of that we could definitely help you out. So definitely reach out to us and leave us a comment. We'll definitely get that set up for you.
Yes, but it's not common to have that. It's mostly like neighborhoods that kind of like, it's the same color.
Yes. Number 7, I guess this would be number 2 technically. Because I get this one probably the second most.
Okay.
And then the last one is probably the third most. Okay. So I'm going to build it up a little bit for you guys. The last one, number 9, is going to be the third biggest. So this one is the second biggest. Insects and wildlife.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah. So we get scorpions, spiders. I wrote another thing that I can't even...
Snakes?
Yeah, snakes. No, that's snakes.
Wow.
I don't even know
what is that.
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't know.
We won't.
But it was important enough for me to write it. But we'll come back to that. So snakes... Right? That's the insects that there's a bunch of others. And then the wildlife, you have the coyotes, mountain lions. There's like eagles that are flying now that are like a little dangerous. So I get that question a lot. Oh my God, scorpions, right? And we could talk on our experience, right?
Yes.
We have not that we don't have scorpions. We've never seen, knock on wood, I've
seen one dead one on the street in a parking lot. That's the only one that I have seen.
Okay, well, yeah, I meant seen in our house.
In a house, yes.
I've seen a ton
in our house.
I was actually at Seneca's house last week, and he was showing me his new pool, and there was a big scorpion in it, dead.
I will move.
And he was like, it's time. So if anyone's looking for a new house, I may have a new house for Seneca.
Well, tell him why that happens for his particular house.
Okay, so, and I'm not an expert in insects or...
We try to avoid the conversation.
I don't want to Google it. I don't want to bring that energy to me. I don't want to
we just get our house sprayed every month and we just assume that there's nothing that we need to worry about.
Yes. What happens is they live underground, right? And they like moisture from what I hear from a lot of the pest controls. They say they like moisture, but they live underground. So what's happening in Arizona is there's a lot of new construction, new development. So they dig up, when they're digging up, the snakes, the insects, the scorpions, the spiders, they have to find a place to go. So they run away, spread out, and they go into the community. So like my friend Seneca's community is brand new. So there's going to be stuff, but right behind him, literally, I can look over his fence, it's all dirt and they're starting digging. So he's starting to get those right now. So there's a few things. Obviously, if you live in a new community like we do, it could happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of the risk, but it's a good...
But there's things you can do to like get it spray, make sure like, when they're sprayed, they also do like, clean up any spider webs stuff. Yeah. So there isn't like any chance for them to come inside your home.
Yes. And it's not 100% all the time, but it puts you in the best position.
Yes, but you could also be in a house where you don't ever have a scorpion, but the house next door could have scorpions. Like it's kind of like, I feel like it's hit or miss. I don't know why they choose one house over another.
Yeah, maybe they don't like us, and
that's fine. I'm perfectly fine that way.
And then you'll hear. So we have our Facebook group community for our neighborhood. And you'll just see pop notification. Oh, there's a coyote walking around. Be careful of your pets. I'm like, the pets? I'm worried about the coyote, not the pets. Like, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to encounter a coyote or a mountain lion.
Yes, or figure out what to do when you're encountering, especially if it's dark out.
Yeah, so it does happen, especially if you're further out. If you're in the metro areas, not as common.
Yeah.
But the further out you go, obviously Phoenix is growing so fast and so much where people are moving here. It's getting spread out and new communities are being built. You're getting closer to the mountains, a lot more possibilities of stuff happening. when we were living in like the Scottsdale, like the central Scottsdale area, Tempe, we didn't really notice a lot of things. If you go northern Scottsdale, you will. So it just depends where you are.
It happens. Not probably coyotes and stuff, but like scorpions are they're just everywhere. They're part of the,
not everywhere. They're not everywhere. Like in the sense of like it sounds like they're just like all.
Oh no, that's not what I mean. Like they live here. Like they live here. You're gonna see them maybe.
Just not in our house.
Not in our house.
Number 8, I hear this a lot from people coming from like the larger cities, like Chicago, LA, New York. There's limited public transportation, and that's true.
It's true.
There's the
light rail that we have is really light. Like there's like. It doesn't really go that far.
It just goes to like downtown Phoenix, I think.
I've not even explored it that much because like
I've been in it a couple times, but yeah.
But like...
You have to drive.
You have to drive everywhere. It's not walkable unless you live in a community that's really close to a big shopping area, which, there are those you can find. But you most likely need a car to live in Arizona. Like
everything's like 20, 30 minutes.
Yes.
Well, no. Not 20, 30 minutes. Your shopping's going to be 5, 10, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
But if you want to like...
And the thing is, it's close, but you can't walk there.
Yes.
That's the point of like, you need a car.
Yeah. So, and I know a lot of people try to do the one car because like if you lived in a city, like, we'll get away with one car. You're going to need 2 if like both people work or whatever.
Yes.
It's very difficult. So that one... There's no workaround.
Yeah, we don't.
It is what it is. So lastly, number 9, and this is probably number 3, the third biggest complaint I get from people that want to move here and they're kind of like, I don't know, the food. I get a lot of people.
I disagree.
Well, I'm just telling you what the people have told me.
Yes, I could see.
But we thought that too, though, when we moved here.
Yeah, but because we were looking at one thing, like pizza. We were like, oh, there's no good pizza. But then, yes, there's good pizza, but not New York good pizza.
Yeah, there's New York style.
Like just, So there's good pizza, like.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this because it's very near and dear to my heart.
There are pizzas.
Yeah. So, yes, coming here, there's no pizza. Well, there's good pizza, just not New York. You'll see New York style, New York pizza, this, that. No. But there is still really good pizza and really good bagels, because bagels is another one. I'm like, I can't get a good bagel, I can't get good pizza. So pizza, a few that I've had, Amici is probably our favorite. It's more like Amici and Mesa on Guadalupe.
They're like blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah, they've gotten really famous.
Very good food, good
people, the owners are great. They're great customer service. The food, everything, their pizza's solid, really good. Everything on their menu.
Yes, it's really, really good.
Parm, lasagna, just salads, just everything on their menu is just really good. I've never had a bad meal there. We used to go a lot.
Yes, we used to go pretty much every week.
Yes. And then another pizza place I've had, I think it's Pizza Bianca in Phoenix. I don't know the exact name. It's been a long time, but it's highly rated. Sal's Pizza in Gilbert is really good. And the best bagels I've had here is Buongiorno Bagels in Gilbert, which is random. I would have thought Phoenix or something, but that's the best bagels I've had. Again, you're not going to get great pizza, bagels, and seafood here.
Seafood, yes.
It's like sushi.
I mean, there are some really good restaurants that have really good seafood.
Like Buck and Ryder is okay.
But like, yeah, like lower your expectation because it's the desert and there's, no fish here.
We're not in New York City. Like,
yes. Or like, I'm sure, those restaurants like fly their fish in, but like, in general, Mexican food is really good here.
Well, LA people say Mexican food is not good.
Well, here. Mexican food in Mexico is better than LA, so there's always better. But for,
that is a thing. People from LA would go, oh, it's better here. But I'm like, it's good here. I've had good Mexican food, really good Mexican food.
Yeah, it depends on where you go.
But I will say, when we were moving here, we were really concerned about the food because we used to like work in New York City and we always meet up for dinners and it was fun. So yes, it's not on that level. Of course not. But I was pleasantly, really surprised at how good it is to what my expectations were. Because there's a lot of restaurants and good places to go where it's good vibes and just good places to go.
Also, you have to think, because like one of our favorite restaurants from California is coming here. Din Tai Fung,
yes.
Like that's our favorite. We love their food. And like, there's a lot of that too. Like restaurants from different, that are established in different states are opening up here. And also new ones are opening up here. So there's always like new restaurants opening. So you get to try.
Yeah. And low key, really good barbecue here.
Really good barbecue.
Really good. So, so I think overall the food is, I would say it's a solid 7. Like overall, compared to like if New York City is a 10, LA is a 10.
Well, you say New York City is a 10, but like you were thinking like everywhere you eat pizza is pretty good.
Well, it's not. No.
No, you don't think?
Everything? No. Over there too. No, it's not good everywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say food's really good here and we like it. So this list of 9 reasons why you shouldn't move here, but it's not that bad.
It's not.
Number 1, the heat, you could make it work. So hopefully, what I actually would like for the Phoenix residents, if you guys could leave some comments on things we missed maybe, where you're like, hey, this is the worst thing about living in Phoenix, throw it in the chat. If you disagree with any of these, please let me know, but it's not our list, it's our client's list.
And also, if you have any really good food recommendations, like we always like to go try out new restaurants.
Yes.
So please let us know.
Yeah.
Because it's so big. There's so many new ones and there's so many hidden gems.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. We really appreciate it. And if you guys are looking to relocate to the Phoenix metro area or Arizona in general, we'd love to help you guys out. All our information is below. You can set up a call, text, whatever is easiest for you guys. We're here to help. We just love to help you guys out.
Well, thank you for watching. See you next time.
Bye.